Anne Chapman.
Hey, Erica.
How are you?
I am great, and I'm loving your new offices.
Thank you. Okay, ready for this first question?
Mm-hmm.
How does one handle an audition that involves eating or drinking, especially when a script calls for eating or drinking?
So, I don't know that as an actor, I would bring my own food to the audition with me. I would wait to see what is in the room and if they are expecting the actual eating and drinking to happen in the room. So take the cue from what's going on in the audition space. And then just pay attention to cleanliness when you're in there. You know, I always make sure that every actor has their own food, own fork or own spoon, and literally show them the trash can that they can throw it in to make everybody at ease that they're not getting germs from all the other actors. And then we just try it out and see how it goes, you know?
Absolutely. Do you think, I think that I've definitely had commercial callbacks where eating or drinking is something important.
Like the slice of pizza.
Yeah, exactly, like the slice of pizza. Mm-hmm. I've also had them for very specific food products, and they have said in the room, the producers or directors like, oh no, we don't need that. We know people can eat, and so it's interesting.
That is interesting.
It's not like the old days. That's more recent. Yeah.
Do you remember a burger was like this and a sandwich was like this? It's exactly. Very specific. But I've done commercial auditions for cereal, mm-hmm. and it's very specific about how you're holding the bowl, how you're holding the spoon, how many bites you're taking, because it's hard to eat cereal and then speak. I think they cheat a lot on sets and change cereal to oatmeal because it's easier. It's not as hard on the sound guys later on.
Exactly, and you can swallow it quickly.
Yeah.
And then, what about film and television? Have you ever had an audition where people did need to eat or drink?
We have, together.
Yes, we have. On Loving, as a matter of fact.
And we had no food in the room.
We didn't. And then furthermore, because self-tapes are so prevalent, what would you say about a film or television audition that specifically talks about he's, chewing on the candy bar and then the next line is garbled? Let's say that's in the script. Would you say that that's something that should be mimed and garbled but no food for film and television, or do you think food is okay in a self-tape?
I would want to see that, I would actually want to see that. And crackers or whatever, something small like that is not too hard to do on your own, and you can have a couple of times to see how it works. You might need to have your water nearby to actually get a line out later. But I don't want it to be a mess. I want it to be clean and easy, unless it's written that this is the messiest eater.
Unless it's it's like 2 boxes of whatever crackers are stuffed into their mouth. And they're talking through it in crackers.
And they're kind of like a disgusting eater.
Yeah.
If that's part of it.
Disgusting eater.
Yeah.
And what if, I agree with that, and I think it just concentrates so hard on being clean with it and making sure that the dialogue after that action happens.
Yeah, we want to hear that dialogue.
Exactly.
So the audition is the proof of concept that the actor can mumble while they're eating, and we can get that piece of dialogue.
Yeah. And carry on.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, agreed. I think that is something that actually is a big deal in the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic in terms of action and dialogue, which seems very simple, but is actually a really complex thing for a performer to do. And I think with the self-tape era, that doesn't get to be practiced a lot. So I'm digressing a little bit from the eating, but when someone has to, if I have to comb your hair, or if I'm a hairdresser and I have to comb and cut your hair and talk at the same time, that's something that
I would always add on the breakdown, the character description, whatever the skill is that they need to be doing, that we would love to know that you have that skill in your toolbox as well. So.
We just cast a yoga instructor, and they were just dialogue, and they were just introducing the class. But you could tell by the movement, and some very savvy actors were not doing poses, but moving in a really appropriate way, and then you realized, aha, they
know,
can
yeah.
be talking while doing poses if need be.
Well, I love that they're that self-aware and that can do that. I'm currently casting for a ballet dancer that needs to be good on point, and I've had a number of submissions that say, I'm not a ballet dancer, but I'm a quick study. And I imagine that dancing on point in front of, that would be hard to pick up.
Yeah, I think that takes years and years and years of training.
Completely.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so back to the eating.
Mm-hmm.
If there were a scene that just said interior dining room, and everyone's sitting around the dinner table at a big Thanksgiving feast, but it doesn't specifically outline that the character is eating within the dialogue. It's just that's the setup for the scene. And that's something very similar to what we cast in Miming.
Yeah.
My preference would to not have that person auditioning eat for real, but they could be eating and then saying their line through the side of their mouth or whatever, but it's all mimed and very subtle and not taking over the intention or the objective of the scene at all.
I'm completely on board there. And don't you remember sort of being taken out, like, what do they have in their bowl?
It's distracting.
It is distracting.
Props, eating, that is prop, right? And they can be really, really distracting. So yeah, be careful. Be careful. So that's a good winding about way of answering the question. Thanks, Anne Chapman. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, please remember to comment any questions that you may have, and subscribe.